Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Cosmic Dive. I am astrologer Shane Smith. I was going to say something about my name, but I will pass on that. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll take a look at the week ahead using vibrational astrology. And vibrational astrology happens to look at the planets in a very unique way. It's a research based astrology. So the things that we're talking about are things that have been studied very carefully and not just taken for granted. So, with that, we will go ahead and take a look at the week ahead here. Yes, and we are talking about our 10-minute guide through the week ahead using that vibrational astrology. I'll highlight key planetary configurations in the cosmic sky that help answer the question, which frequencies do I choose to frequent? This is for the week of August 17th through the 24th. And the one thing we're going to notice is a big black line. And in my scheme of things here, that represents vibration 7. Now, if you're into numerology, there'll be some very close similarities. 7 is a vibration that requires us to go deep. It requires us to turn inward. It requires us to learn, maybe study. Perhaps we want to practice something methodically. 7 is a good vibration for that. And you'll see that rising Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday and Sunday on the weekend. Otherwise, it's kind of quiet all on the vibration front. And also on Saturday, we've got something we'll talk about. That is Virgo, actually, with the sun going into Virgo. So, the idea behind vibrational astrology and using it for guiding your daily activities is that we want to capitalize or optimize, I should say, much better word, the frequencies that are happening. So I happen to know my own personal planetary configurations for the week, and I happen to know that um, I will be having a vibration 7 later in the week highlighted. So I'm going to be actually in tune with what's going on for everybody universally. And that's nice to know. That is nice to know because I'm going to take advantage of that and maybe practice my guitar a little bit more, do some recording perhaps, do things that are of a more kind of inward nature, maybe not so much be out in the world, so to speak. So today, Monday, we do see a smooth and harmonious line. That's that green line. And that means that there's activity happening in the ninth vibration or the sixth vibration, or both. Actually, both today. I'm going to focus on one of them. I'm going to focus on the Mars, Saturn, Mercury configuration in the ninth vibration. And if you know anything about Mercury, you know it's communication, expression, learning, thought, decision making, and so forth. Mars and Saturn puts a little bit of energy behind it. However, that energy can be a little bit plodding, if you will. It might not come as easily and unfold as naturally as you may want to. Mars and Saturn together, they kind of work hard. Somebody described it once as driving with the brakes on. Saturn, wants to kind of pull you back, and Mars wants to push you forward. And then Mercury, your thinking is like, oh man, I'm really stuck on this thing. However, it's happening in a smooth and harmonious vibration, so maybe you'll find that there will be a revelation of sorts today that will kind of break through the impasse and push you into an area that you had never thought about before. That's happening today. Tomorrow, we see a rise in the stillness, inner wisdom, and focus line, and that's giving us a preview of coming attractions for the end of the week. And this happens to be a nice four planetary configuration. Now, I'm using 3 planetary configurations here, which means I'm not just using a one planet to one planet and then interpreting that. I'm taking 3 and smushing the interpretations together. When you get 4, that's even more powerful. That means the energy has really built up. And so on Tuesday, we have Uranus, Mercury, Neptune, and Saturn in the 35th harmonic. And when we talk about the harmonic or the vibration, what we're talking about is basically we're taking the chart, the 360 chart that we're all familiar with, and we are basically cutting it into pieces. And in this case, 35 pieces. And then we are zooming in and examining what's going on in that 35th vibration to make that energy pop. And so on Tuesday, unexpected inspiration can spark fresh ideas about making a positive difference, especially through communication and helping others recognize their potential. Keep fear from driving your choices and channel the energy through playful creativity combined with quiet, disciplined action. All right, that's the 7. Now we move into Wednesday and we see a nice rise in the excellence and transformation vibration. That's vibration 13 and any overtones of that. And what is especially significant about the planets involved on Wednesday is we have Pluto and Venus involved in various combinations with other planets like Mars and Uranus. But when you have Pluto's, you have Pluto and Venus together, you get a very passionate kind of energy. And when it's happening in 13, that wants to make you transcend above and beyond the ordinary. It makes you want to go above and beyond. It's like Superman. So use that Superman passionate energy on Wednesday for whatever you're planning and find that your day will go much smoother. Okay, we move into Thursday. There it is, Thursday and Friday. Oh my gosh, what's happening there? Well, we've got a lot of activity happening in vibration 7, as I mentioned. And vibration 7 is, as I said, is this disciplined, focused, wise energy that kind of pulls us in and takes a look at how we're doing things, how we want to learn, how we can kind of figure out things, and eventually take it out into the world perhaps. So Thursday we have Uranus, Neptune, Mars, and Saturn. Again, we have 4 planets involved, and when that happens, woo, that's powerful. So another surge of unconventional inspiration encourages you to envision how things could be better and to act from possibility rather than from fear. Creative playfulness works best when balanced with inward reflection, discipline, and a willingness to inspire others. Yeah, you can do things in a 7 vibe with other people. That's fine. But it's not going to be, like playing rugby or something. It's going to be a little more quiet than that. All right, Friday. And a lot of activity again in 7 and especially another 4 planetary configuration involving Mercury, Uranus, Saturn, Venus, all playing together, if you will, in vibration 14 in this case, which is 7 times 2. So that means relationships may feel complicated as devotion, conflict, desire, and uninhibited feelings intermingle, making patience especially important. Rather than reacting emotionally, communicate quietly and thoughtfully so that confusion can become greater understanding. And Saturday. This is where we find the sun moving into Virgo for the next month. And we know that the sun, one of the many attributes is the fact that it shines, it glows, and puts the spotlight on whatever is happening. So it's the very clear and present moment, but it's also self-expression. So you can seek self-expression in the underlying natural order and structure of life, which is Virgo. Having fun with your mind in this way, though, remember you might not want to forget that there are other people involved. So be of service. Find ways to express your your beauty through working with others in a helpful way. And that's what Virgo is all about. It's service, it's of the mind as well. So you can become aware of patterns, if you're talking about the mind, and restructuring thoughts and ideas and bring them forth in that form of service. Wouldn't that be cool? Woohoo! And then on Sunday, we have, again, a rise in the uh, seventh vibration. A lot of things there. I'm not going to enumerate them because there's a lot. And I don't want to overwhelm you with all the planetary configurations, but do know that that would be a nice day as well on Sunday to just enter into that stillness, inner wisdom, and focus. Like I say, learn, study, practice yoga, meditation, and just be quiet. Be quiet. I was told that a lot when I was a kid, and it worked. You know why? Because I have a strong 7 vibration in my chart. So it was like, okay. When my parents would punish me and they'd say, go to your room, I'd go, yeah. All right. So I digress. Sorry about that. Restless and progressive. Oh, this is going to be interesting on Sunday because we have that restless and progressive vibration as well. So these are two competing vibrations because the stillness and wisdom and focus wants you to kind of get quiet. And the restless goes, I can't do this. I got to get going. I got to move. I got to move. So you've got these two competing vibrations working against each other, if you will, but you can channel that energy. So here's maybe some thoughts about that. Communication becomes especially important as inspiration, relationships, and restless energy converge, creating opportunities to renew a connection or begin something new. Give that considerable passion somewhere to go. Music, dancing, creativity, conversation, spontaneous activity can transform impatience into joyful engagement. So, yeah, you can, kind of be good at what you're dancing at. That's what the stillness, inner wisdom, and focus vibration is all about. It's about being good at something. It's kind of when you're learning and when you're meditating and when you're doing yoga and when you're just focusing on something, you are doing it for the ultimate purpose of being good. And so that's what is happening here. So be good in a restless and progressive way with whatever you're doing. Okay. There it is. That's the week. I think this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and especially as I said, knowing that my chart personally will be lining up as well with that seventh vibe. Hmm. Okay, mantra for the week: as I choose inspiration over fear, give purpose to my passion, and share my unique light with others. And we'll leave you with the question: which frequencies do I choose to frequent? All right, my friends, I hope you have a delicious week, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the weekly Cosmic Dive. In the meantime, au revoir.